Most people think you need to hustle non-stop or take big risks to make serious money in a short time. But what if I told you I made $10,000 in just 30 days without starting a business, trading crypto, or working overtime? Sounds like a scam, right? But it wasn't. I made that money through something slow, steady, and surprisingly powerful: dividend investing. I used to think dividend investing was just for people in their 60s who were living off retirement savings. But once I understood how it worked and how to scale it, everything changed. I'm going to walk you through exactly how I did it, broken down into 10 key steps. If you're curious about growing your income passively and sustainably, this is worth sticking around for. Let's count it down from 10 to 1. 10. I got my mindset right. The first thing I had to do was shift the way I looked at money. I used to think passive income was just a dream. I believed the only way to earn more was to work more. But dividend investing is all about letting your money work for you. That meant I had to stop treating money as something to spend and start treating it like a tool. I began thinking of every dollar as a little worker. Each one I invested in a dividend-paying company would send back a portion of its earnings to me every quarter or even every month. That mental shift changed everything. It made me stop chasing fast money and instead build a system that could grow without needing my constant attention. 9. I built up a strong cash reserve. Before jumping into dividend investing, I made sure I wasn't putting myself at risk. I set aside a solid emergency fund, enough to cover at least 6 months of living expenses. That way, I didn't have to sell off investments if something unexpected happened. This gave me peace of mind. I knew the money I was investing could stay invested. I wouldn't be tempted to pull it out because of a car repair, a medical bill, or a job hiccup. A lot of people skip this step, but trust me, it makes a big difference when you're trying to stay consistent. 8. I focused on quality over hype. I didn't go looking for the highest dividend yield out there. Instead, I focused on companies with a long track record of paying and increasing dividends. These are called dividend aristocrats. These companies have been raising their dividends for at least 25 years straight. That means they're not only profitable, but also committed to sharing those profits with shareholders. Companies like Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, and Coca-Cola fell into that category. Sure, some newer or riskier stocks were offering 10% or even 12% dividends, but I avoided them. Why? Because if a dividend looks too good to be true, it usually is. I'd rather earn a reliable 4% from a rock-solid company than risk a 12% yield that could vanish overnight. 7. I diversified my portfolio. I didn't just dump all my money into a single stock or even one industry. I spread it out across different sectors: healthcare, utilities, consumer goods, real estate, and even a few tech companies that offer dividends. Diversification protected me from big drops. If one sector had a bad month, others could hold things steady. For example, utility companies might stay stable even if tech stocks dip. That balance helped my portfolio keep growing without wild swings. Plus, different companies pay dividends at different times. So by diversifying, I got payments flowing in throughout the month, not just once a quarter. That made my cash flow feel more like a regular paycheck. 6. I used monthly dividend stocks. Most companies pay dividends every quarter, but there are a few that pay monthly. I added several of these to my portfolio to help create more regular income. Companies like Realty Income, Stag Industrial, and Main Street Capital are known for paying monthly dividends. Adding those gave me 12 paydays a year instead of just 4. It's not a huge difference at first, but it's great for building momentum. And there's something motivating about seeing those payments come in every few weeks. It keeps you excited and focused on the long-term plan. 5. I reinvested my dividends automatically. One of the smartest things I did was set up automatic dividend reinvestment, also known as a DRIP. This meant that every time I received a dividend, it was used to buy more shares of the company, automatically. This created a snowball effect. The more shares I owned, the more dividends I earned. Then those dividends bought even more shares. Over time, this really adds up. Let's say I earned $500 in dividends in a month. That $500 could buy more shares, which then paid me even more the next month. This compounding power is what makes dividend investing so effective over time. 4. I bought during a market dip. Timing isn't everything, but it helps. I happened to start building my dividend portfolio when the market was going through a small correction. Prices were lower, which meant I could buy more shares with the same amount of money. And since dividend payouts are based on how many shares you own, buying at a discount meant I got more income for the same investment. It was like locking in a higher yield. This isn't something you can always control, but if you stay patient and keep some cash ready, you can take advantage of dips when they happen. 3. I used a high-yield savings account for overflow. Not all my money was in stocks. I kept a portion of my cash in a high-yield savings account. This wasn't for emergencies. It was for parking cash while I waited for the right investment opportunities. Some month, I'd have dividend income or fresh savings that I didn't want to invest right away. Instead of letting that money sit in a regular checking account doing nothing, I parked it in a high-yield account, earning 4% or more. It's not as exciting as dividends, but it kept my money working even when it wasn't in the stock market. 2. I tracked my income closely. I treated my dividend income like a real business. I used a spreadsheet to track every payment, who it came from, how much it was, and when it arrived. This helped me see which investments were pulling their weight and which ones weren't. It also gave me the motivation to keep going. Seeing that income number grow month by month was incredibly satisfying. It made the process feel more real. And when I saw that I was on pace to hit $10,000 in 1 month, it wasn't a surprise. It was the result of watching the data, sticking to the plan, and scaling up slowly over time. 1. I leveraged a tax-advantaged account. This was one of the biggest things that helped me keep more of my earnings. I invested most of my dividend-paying stocks inside a Roth IRA. That way, I didn't have to pay taxes on the dividend income or any capital gains. If I had earned that $10,000 in a regular brokerage account, a big chunk of it would have gone to taxes. But because it was in a Roth IRA, that income was completely tax-free. Not everyone can do this right away, since Roth IRAs have annual contribution limits. But starting early and maxing it out every year really pays off in the long run. And if you're outside the US, look into similar tax-advantaged accounts in your country. So that's how I made $10,000 in 30 days with dividend investing. It didn't happen overnight, and it definitely wasn't passive at the beginning. I had to learn, plan, and set things up the right way. But once everything was in place, the system started working for me. And that's the beauty of dividend investing. It rewards patience and discipline. If you've been thinking about building passive income, this might be the sign you needed. Start small, stay consistent, and give your money a job. It's not flashy, but it works. If this video gave you value or sparked an idea, hit the like button so others can find it too. Drop a comment if you're working on your own dividend journey. I'd love to hear about it. And if you want more real talk investing content, subscribe to the channel and stick around. There's so much more to share. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.